Welcome back. In today's lab, we're going to investigate the stoichiometry of a precipitation reaction. This lab is actually an extension of the previous lab that you completed, looking at double displacement ionic reactions. In today's lab, we're actually going to be looking at another ionic reaction, this time between calcium chloride and sodium carbonate. The difference from this lab and the previous lab is that in the previous lab, we are simply just observing different types of reactions. In today's lab, you're going to make some very careful measurements and try to determine how much product can be produced, something that's called the theoretical yield, based on the amount of the reactants that are used in the experiment. Now in today's lab, although all the chemicals and materials you're using are relatively safe, please keep in mind it's always very important to wear your safety glasses. A few notes about today's lab. First, make sure you read the lab very carefully. Go through the calculations shown in the lab before you complete the actual steps in the lab. This will help you after you've made all your measurements and are trying to go through the calculations of the data that you recorded. If you have any questions at all about the calculations and the math involved, please let me know before you complete the lab. Additionally, this lab calls for the use of distilled water. It's very important that you use distilled water as opposed to tap water, as tap water may contain some ions and salts that could throw off your results. The simplest thing to do is to buy some bottled water, purified bottled water, and use that in place of tap water. The final tip that I have, after looking through the lab handout, is that there is a point where you need to allow your precipitant to air dry. Based on the humidity in your home or where you're performing the lab experiment, this may take a couple hours or even a day to occur. So please make sure you schedule the appropriate amount of time to complete this lab. Those are the notes that I have for today's lab. It's relatively straightforward and simple, and other than the couple hours or day or so to allow the precipitant to dry, the lab is fairly quick and will not take you that long. Upon finishing the lab, cleanup is extremely easy. All chemicals and compounds can go down the drain, and all your materials can go in the trash. Obviously, any type of glassware or balance that you use, you may want to make sure you clean off and keep for future lab exercises. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. And good luck and be safe.